Divorce and infidelity final ending. Other parts down below in comments. Lawyer has strongly advised against investigating or exposing as this looks bad. In any case, I already know all I need to know. Who and when, what and where is not important, and I don't want to know details anyway. She is already exposed to the people who matter most in her life. Our kids, and she carries on despite their disapproval. People have encouraged me to expose her to her parents, but they won't care. They will have less influence on her than her kids. And lawyer says this would be a bad move legally. I believe that she has been introduced to his circle of friends and colleagues and they welcome her with open arms, so no exposure to be done there. I think that there is very little hope of our anyway. Things are too far gone, but certainly no hope at all whilst other man is in the picture. She is a fully fog-bound walk-away wife and OM keeps her firmly in the fog. She will only realize what she is walking away from with a very hard landing back in the land of reality. And even them I'm not sure that she will fully realize. My lawyer's point is simple. Don't make yourself look like a jerk because they will turn that against you later on. What do people disagree with about that? And what am I giving up following that advice? Not much. It's all about long-term versus short-term. Lawyer's advice is designed to achieve a better outcome long-term. The advice here is mostly based around getting some short-term satisfaction of showing her. Yes, she has behaved badly. Yes, she deserves what she gets. But she'll get hers in the long run. I can't go into details of my legal case. I would be mad to put that out there on the internet. My wife is behaving incredibly coldly, both in what she is doing and in the way that she is treating me, with a heart of stone. I, in turn, am incredibly angry with her about this. Not much warmth there day to day, although I am warm with the kids. Neither of us is a particularly warm person anyway. We're both Northern European rather than American, and even on that scale we are both at the cooler end, and don't express affection quite so much. My wife in particular can be very cold with people. She comes from a difficult family background, and in classic nice guy style I wanted to fix her. Do I really love her still or do I just have a bad case? All I know is that when I start to think of the times when I saw her tender side, which could be quite rare, it just kills me. I get very upset. I can't deal with it. It's easier to be angry with her or just to try to be indifferent. We did exchange a rare moment of tenderness a week or two ago when she sent me a text telling me that she had to go to hospital. I immediately called her and showed concern. She said that she didn't think I would care. We had a nice exchange for about 2 minutes. I was an absolute mess for the rest of the afternoon. It completely knocked me sideways. She has secured legal rights to remain in the property for the time being. And any spouse, for which, in effect, read man given the bias of the courts, who is deemed to be unreasonable or to be physically or emotionally abusing the other spouse can be restricted to certain areas of the home or banned from it altogether. I have already been threatened with this. And of course, courts are all too willing to play safe and to believe tales of abuse. To those who will no doubt say that I should have punished my wife by making her continue to sleep on the floor, I would say 2 things. 1. At that stage I knew little or nothing of her affairs, so there was nothing to punish her for. 2. The kids would have taken her side if I had treated her that harshly, and, in any case, I do not think that it would have been a good lesson for them to see one parent being deliberately cruel and uncaring towards the other one. No matter what she had done. 2 months later, what hasn't changed? The situation with my walk-away wife and piece of crap OM is ongoing. She is spending more and more time with him, to the detriment of the family. I think that everyone, but her, knows that it can't possibly last. But she is still completely in the fog, still thinks that she can have it all. Meanwhile other man is showing true signs of being a piece of crap again, plain for everyone but her to see. The divorce is still proceeding, driven by her. But let's just say I am not exactly putting obstacles in the way. I expect more developments in the next few weeks and will update but can't talk about them now as they are all about the legal process. So that's what hasn't really changed. What has changed a lot is me. I have gone through this baptism of fire and come out the other side. I have managed to tap into my inner strength and inner wisdom. I feel far stronger and more centered than I ever did, even before D-Day. Life is still full of challenges, and I don't quite know how I'm going to meet them, but I know that I will. All the mental energy that I used to expend on worrying is gradually being redirected to thinking about the future. I never felt before that I was a worthwhile or worthy person. I was completely insecure. Now I have much more regard for myself. I am not out of the woods yet. Do we ever really get fully out of these woods? I wonder. But I am beginning to emerge from this process a more secure, more confident and generally better individual than the person I started it as. And my STBXW now has a legacy of lying, cheating and dishonesty to overcome, and she is finding it very difficult. I have started living for myself a bit, but my main focus remains the kids. They already have one parent who has run straight into the arms of another partner, and I don't want to make that too, as I think that they would feel completely abandoned. I also do not think it is right to enter into a relationship until I am fully divorced. That said, I have a nice little friendship developing with a young lady. I don't see her too often, but when we do see each other we seem to be drawn together and enjoy spending time together. I have no idea how she feels about me, but we'll see if that goes anywhere. Nothing's going to happen overnight, but something that builds slowly is good for me right now. For me, the greatest lesson of all of this, to accept that you cannot control everything. Before all of this happened, I was so busy trying to control everything or worrying about the things I couldn't control and thinking of myself as a perpetual victim of circumstances. Still going through complications as regards kids, turning into very expensive process. But I am very positive about the future. Feeling good about myself. Love TV's comment. I mean, he did escape in the end, I think, however. OP was a little bit too hopeful. At the end of the day, you can't control what your partner does really, you can only control what you can do. Story 2. Got married very young, after kids left to study abroad. I thought we were working on us again being alone. Bought a weekend house, went every Friday for more than 1 year. Around 2 years ago, he started acting distant. Fights were easy to start and sleeping in different rooms was becoming normal. Tried to talk but things became the same within days. Worked together for 15 years. I was desperate by December and asked him to move, so he did next day. Was like if I was opening the door to the dog. After 1 year of separation, this January this year, he asked for divorce. It took me by surprise since we were having a good relationship. No, for sure. He is a lonely man and told me he liked being like that and that our marriage was broken since several years. I have not been working since he moved out and feel so lonely. I thought we were going to be able to work things out. We're going to to the same therapist. She told me to give him time, so that was what I was doing. But then after he asked for divorce, I asked her what went wrong and she told me that he got comfortable and since he's very busy at the office he doesn't think as I so often and that he has not being able to feel real loneliness. I told him to do what is necessary, that I was not going to be the one doing the paperwork for the assets change of name etc. Seems that has taken time, more than expected, but once in a while I get requests to sign papers or go to the bank and feel so sad. Part of me would like this to be over. The other wants to work on our marriage, but it can't only be me. Last year we only saw each other twice. When he asked for divorce it was by phone. I asked to meet, so we did finally, but his position is the same. This is broken. I tried to convince him to go out once every month to see if we could bond again, but he said no. Our kids send sometimes emails copying me and him regarding their studies or experiences. We have this communication via email copying everyone. Now I started the 180 about 10 days ago, just replying to my son or daughter, not copying him anymore. Besides that, no communication at all. This year would be our 25th anniversary. He sends me extra money sometimes. Last time he did was about 15 days ago. I started crying, because I feel that what I need is him, not the money, and writing checks as always being his way of showing love. Confused, but knowing that it is what it is and trying to move on, looking for a job to keep myself occupied besides some courses I am receiving but don't do the job. Forgot to mention I have a great relationship with his family and so does him with mine. It is so sad when I hear his mom tell me that he would have to go the Sahara Desert to find another woman like me. Asked about a secret OW or if he discovered he was gay. But no to both questions, and after 1 year and 4 months I would know if he had. He is just an introvert, proud person that doesn't love me anymore. That is my conclusion. And to be sincere, I don't know if I would like to be back with him, because I was already very independent in our marriage. Did a lot and he was sometimes like another kid, not showing any intimacy interest, not as for bonding, but as for communication, details, etc. Acceptance is so hard. Failure feeling is here all the time. I feel what hurts to me the most is 1. Being alone. 2. Marriage failure. 3. Thinking we have all to be happy but he needs a little change towards the relationship, which he has made clear he doesn't want anymore. 4. And accepting I can't change him. Feel lost after being a mom, wife, coworker with him. My life was my family, cooking for them, before he left, making him special meals on Saturdays. It was all about the rest of people around me, not me at all. He is a very lonely, introvert person who says love doesn't exist, and before the kids left, he said he loved nobody besides the kids. He had a childhood with his mom being very strict. He even shake when he heard the car of her getting back from work. Both his brothers and cousins we grew in the same condition are verbally abusive or sarcastic towards their wives. I didn't let that happen, more so here I am. At the beginning of the marriage, 23 years ago, there was a 3-year period when he was using meds. I had an affair at work for 3 months which I ended without him knowing, and even left the company since knew my revenge wasn't good. I couldn't live with that and finally ended up confessing after a year. 20 years ago. He says now that somehow he can't forget that and he closed his heart to me. That tried but doesn't work for him. I begged, was treated like a W for 5 years, tried to explain my reason was revenge. That he did worse things, etc. But it seems he can't forgive it all. I also retired my savings from my life insurance account, so I have some savings now put together. My daughter is going to India for a volunteer for 2 months, and I am applying to go to work in the food preparation volunteer program they have there. Thank you for your words, because it makes me think I am making the right choice. He knows of the affair. I confessed 20 years ago. Felt I owed it to him and thought that the things he had done before were much worse. But it came out that that what I did to him was different. Yes, his drinking also led to lack of interest in bonding without alcohol in his system. Was an issue for sure. Also, he isolated playing his guitar, and I knew I couldn't talk to him after his first beer because he would be in his happy world. I don't want to make him the bad guy. He is a good guy, responsible father, but not a good partner for a marriage for me, even though I love him very much and wish he could see further than the moment. Our kids, 24 and 22, are aware of everything. I told them also they don't blame all on his dad because I had my part too and can't change how he feels about what happened so long ago, or maybe now that he is living a midlife crisis or simply doesn't love me anymore. Hurts so bad to fail. I did all I could, but still think I could live with him since he's not a bad man but has his character and isolates. Well, there are much worse men out there. Loneliness is so sad, and I don't want to end alone. He adores his kids, but somehow, I feel he blames them for leaving home and has always have problems showing affection to them. Also, I don't think the therapist is ideal for this situation. I was going with her too but left her and went to the psychiatrist since and have felt much better. One of the worst days during this separation was when I went to her and asked after he asked for the divorce that she was sorry, that she hoped he would react but that he got accommodated and somehow told me what I know. He's stubborn, and that it seemed he took his decision. He doesn't look for encounters with the kids, but no, he misses them. I have traveled 4 times during last year and he had always written me to give me any complaint about our oldest, car, work, whatever. When I told him, our daughter was talking about living in Germany for the rest of her life. He asked me not to tell him anything about her unless it came from her. I understood that it hurt him so much. So, this time when he complained I asked him not to tell me anything if I could do nothing from there. I am going to India, to do what I like and also to have me time, meditating, etc. looking for options to get through this as I feel I have no vote. Mom has talked to him. She calls me almost every week. I feel bad because she wants me to go and have lunch or meet with the family, which I have done, but I know his family is the only group he relates to once in a week if not every 15 days, so would not like to invade his space. Woke up feeling better today. Went for my daily walk and to renew my passport. Took all morning. Ticket is ready for India. Got my pick for the visa. Was busy. This is what I need to keep on doing so I don't waste time thinking of the ifs and whys with no certain answer for sure. Tomorrow will go for my visa and my cooking class in the afternoon. Planning each day ahead and letting H keep on busy with his work and moving if he wants the D. Anyways, I am leaving in June so it won't be enough time since filing get you a date here for 1.5 minutes 2 or maybe 3 months with the judge even it is a mutual agreement. So, it may take until September and end it in DEC. By then we will be 2 years separated. Can't believe it, but I need to focus on me and let him discover himself too. Got married really young and perhaps this is what is meant to happen as much as it hurts. Half a year later, finally, it came today. Had been receiving drafts of the document more than twice so I just went through it and signed. Our ages were wrong. Hope attorney can fix that. To be honest, I feel a relief. It is happening and there is no turn back. Sad to know we could have done it years back, but this is the moment and I am ready for it. Now, hopefully attorney will amend the ages and deliver it to the judge. Waiting now for the hearing, which here is just to go and sign to agree. Hopefully it will take no more than 2 months. My mind is set as divorced almost than a year ago. Only thing I feel sorry about myself is that I don't have any interest in starting a new relationship, even with my STBXH, and don't want to end up alone. Time will tell. Update. This morning had a breakfast with 2 of his cousins at 8:30. I was early and in the way it was the office. Didn't see his car so stopped to drop off the signed papers to the secretary. To my surprise, he was there. I could lie, but I won't. Didn't put too much attention to him. Said hi politely and hugged, kissed my sister who was with him. Later I was sitting in the restaurant and got a call from him. He was in a car accident on Saturday night. Car was determined by insurance a total loss. Called me to ask for a signature for the insurance papers because of the policy company rep name. At the same time, he said he was going to give me money to change my car. What the duck? Guess it is his conscience. Or whatever, but I am glad he is okay. 4 weeks ago, he also was assaulted while climbing the volcano and asked to move to the bushes. He ran and heard a shot. Says he could smell the gunpowder. But there are several curves, so guess he could manage to get out of it knowing the paths. I am so sorry for him and couldn't imagine what would I have done or feel something happened to him. He is the father of my kids, but that is what first comes to my mind. Then that he was the man I was married to. Feels weird, but thankful he is okay. We have a problem here. I am done with this and don't plan to look back. I just hope he doesn't come back with the blah 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 speech one day. This has been serious stuff for me. I grew up in a healthy home until I was almost 16 and not the family he grew up where everybody split and now it turns boys turned into men are taking revenge of their moms with their spouses or trying to show their dads they are good or better. Hope there is no more coming than the final signature. If it is, I guess I will be so sorry for him. I don't see my life with him by my side again. Has been a tough experience and to be sincere can't picture myself on it again. Months later, I have been remembering things that just tell me you don't deserve it and feeling. Thought keeps in my mind. As for example, he was age that when we were coming back home at night didn't go after me. I was left behind since he drives faster. Can't remember a single time he talked about our future. Doesn't like the things I like which can be okay. But didn't make a single effort to join me which I always tried to do until about a month before we separated. Got mad at me because I was slower than him climbing, coming down a volcano trip. If I got angry at something he yelled, "Don't yell at me like that." I said I would like to visit my daughter abroad if she decided to raise her family in another country. He said that it was not of his interest to go 2 stays at the hospital without his visitations. I did go alone to visit my kids abroad without him. I did go to a dream trip and told him by phone I would love to celebrate our 25th anniversary there. Silence. Once we went to a concert and I passed out in bed after returning. He told me after like 2 months when I asked what was wrong with our physical life that he was not happy with our physical life because I wasn't available during that night. And much more to add during these 2 years of separation. Not blaming him but me partially for letting it all go through. He was not into the M as I was. I took my roles as mom, wife, businesswoman very seriously. But that was me. He might be going other way. Just today, I had to go and make line for 4 hours for a car name change which he did for the other cars of the company but didn't include mine. His feeling at the time, I don't know but means something. So, I am really getting tired, or already got, to the point where I am ready to sign those papers now. Unfortunately there is still 1 more month to go. I found out what I have been missing is the company of someone, the marriage status. But not him. Care about him, yes, but not as a husband. I just hope I have the opportunity in my life to have the experience of enjoying a reciprocate relationship cause what I have had as a codependence relation. I am feeling different. Lately the times I go to sleep, wake up thinking about the situation are becoming less. Little by little and when it happens the feeling is different like accepting it but to be the best for me. Not as before when I felt sad and wanted to go back and think what changes I could have made, etc. I also question if I will ever get into another relationship but hope I will one day. Not feeling ready yet but part of me wants to feel what is it like to live a different reciprocate caring relation. Time will tell. In the meantime, keep working on myself, enjoying life as much as I can, knowing me. Working on my small business and building new dreams. Just today I saw him for an endorsement he was doing to me. It was a 2-hour meeting with his aunt, our lawyer, and my sister. Lol. Funny group. I have to be sincere. At first, I thought I didn't care about it. Then after showering I was doing my hair as usual and it passed my mind to curl it a little. As he liked it, no way. That feeling got away immediately. Then after getting there and of course feeling my face hot for minutes I was myself and didn't care about him. No butterflies, no nothing. Weird but guess fair after 2 years. Time went and I had to leave. Not before hearing him complaining about how late it was and me having to do a manual letter since he rejected to do it. Same stubborn man I know he is. So said bye. Then the game changed and he asked if I wanted to see his new car since I am changing mine. Said okay. Walking to it I mentioned I was short some money to get the one I want and his aunt said perhaps STBX could help you. In front of him, and he answered sure. Why don't you go and ask my brothers if they can help you after all you did for them? I stayed silent. No need to answer to that silly suggestion. Don't know and to be sincere don't care anymore. I will manage. Life is full of changes. Things don't always end up the way we think they will. Everything has an end. I am now sure of that. A month later, after D papers are signed, I feel a relief after the pain, limbo, deception, angry moments, sad moments. I think a while ago acceptance came into my mind and heart and that helped. We're 2 years of getting used to being alone, missing him little time less and getting sometimes answers and signs of no love at all. We were cordial, the moment was so long, almost 2 hours there. And ended up signing and saying goodbye in good terms. Went then to have lunch with my sister and mom. After that went to pick up my car and to a nativity traditional activity which I enjoyed. Yesterday, busy day. Went to the spa for 4 hours and dentist. Today, free morning, dentist and therapist. Making sure to keep busy. Of course, I have my moments of loneliness when I think about what already happened. But after being so anxious for the moment to come and end the chapter, feel better than I expected. Don't know if it will hit one of these days but guess we'll be okay to perhaps cry. Yell or let it be. Finally, over. Almost 2 years later, he wants to take Alimony away. Got over my divorce. It's incredible how time can heal and now when I look back, I can't believe how 23 years went by without realizing marriage was broken way before. Life goes on, and I like mine. But since last February when I got a call from my ex to tell me he was in a relationship, it has been a headache. Kids are 26 and 24, so the alimony I peacefully and legally got was just for me. He says he is almost broken and doesn't feel it is okay to work to feed me. I don't like getting the money with that attitude, so plan to finish my school year in November and look for a job to get prepared and study on series. Don't want to leave my career. But in the meantime, I need to act. He said, never saw it coming after an amicable divorce. Comments, support for life after a long-term marriage is that uncommon. I think in my state every 3 years of marriage equals 1 year of support. There are scenarios where lifetime support may be appropriate, but absolutely not if the ex-spouse has the ability to work and support themselves. Heck, you can educate yourself with an associate degree in 2 years and land a decent paying job. OP, if you had proven vested interest in the companies, you should have cashed out and taken the money. And I can't believe a lawyer didn't advise you that. Basing a lifetime income off of a business is crazy, on your part and on your ex's part. Way too many what-if possibilities. I'm not going to bother listing the scenarios that come to mind. I'm guessing you are being a little deceptive with us. I don't believe your lifetime alimony has anything to do with the companies. I believe because you were married a long time and feel you played your role as wife, mother, partner, you think you deserve a lifetime income. More like you retired than divorced. My advice would be to plan for the worst-case scenario. If the companies fail and he goes into bankruptcy, it doesn't matter what your divorce decree states about support. You can't squeeze money out of nothing. Right now, you know this is going to become an issue. He has already told you something needs to change. You mentioned one of the companies is already in trouble. Personally, I think you should renegotiate for a lump sum payment, or some other tangible asset such as more property. I would rather have the money in hand than fight and worry for the rest of my life. My comment: what do you think about the ending and the second story? Do you support the idea of lifetime alimony? Comment down below, sub and bell, and see you in the next news story.